Philadelphia. I'm Bruce Buffer. It's time for the Anthony Gargano Show.
Oh, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the Anthony Gargano Show. Happy Tuesday. It was not a good night last night at Dodger Stadium. Phils get out to that 2-0 lead early, and we talked about it yesterday, VG and I, Nola. And he's, we tend to not appreciate him, and we tend to over-criticize him, but it's because of these moments. Like, he picks the worst times to have one bad inning. And there it was last night, the third inning. He has the one bad inning. Teoscar hits the home run, and that was a tough loss. Now you go down because that was one you were in. You're in with Glasnow. You had the lead. You're up early on them. That's a shame. And so now you look at it. Phillies, 20 games over 500, 66 and 46. That's a big drop-off to where they once were. They are now just 5.5 games over the Braves, 7 over the Mets, and then when it comes to the best record in the National League, they are a mere half game above the Dodgers and only 3.5 over Milwaukee. So the lead begins to shrink. And look, I thought it would kind of get a little more dicey before it got better, just because of you're going to L.A., you had swept the Dodgers before, you had missed Glasnow when you did it. So, I was not feeling strong. You got 4 still with Arizona out there, so it might get a little scary before it gets better. I do believe it'll get better, but it feels like it's going to get scary. And again, we are shell-shocked after the Eagles' collapse of 10-1, and it's going through another one of these. That can't be, man. That just can't be. They got to get this right. Anthony Gargano Show presented by TrueMark Financial Credit Union. Check out TrueMark.com/PHLY or stop into your local branch to learn more about the credit union difference at TrueMark Financial today. Well, speaking of the Birds looking good in practice. Jordan Davis, and we'll talk to Zach Berman coming up in about an hour, and he'll give us our training camp report for today. But Jordan Davis had a big day yesterday. Big play for a safety. So I keep looking at this thing, and, defense is going to be a worry, right? And the tackles have to set the tone. We talk about the edge, and we talk about guys like Huff, and we talk about those sort of things. We got to they need the tackles, Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis, to be beasts. That has to happen for this defense to have success. So, it was a good sign yesterday, and Carter's been great, and Jordan Davis flashes. He looks good. So, hey, you're kind of hoping that that's what it is. So we'll get into the Phillies, and we'll get into the Birds and training camp and everything else. But I want to talk to you today as a dad, as a Delaware Valley dad. So coming up in about 20 minutes, Steve Martorano, my former radio partner, is going to join us. And I love Stevie. And Stevie was always a bastion of wisdom. Every day I would come in and he would say something. So years ago, you know how I am with my 4-for-4 mantra. Like, it's, you're born here, you root for those teams. That's it. There's no excuses. You got to root for these teams. That's who we are. We are Eagles and Phillies and Sixers and Flyers. And that's who, and Union. And that's who we are. So Steve said to me years ago, all this football you love, fantasy football, all the technology, the red zone, all that stuff, it's eroding fandom. And you watch generations from now, not many generations from now, we will have a crisis of local fandom because it's so much easier with the world so connected to follow teams from all over the league. Used to be, right? Like if you were a Cowboys fan, you couldn't, there's no way in the world that you could follow the Cowboys in a big way other than they were on TV. But, newspapers weren't online. You couldn't just pop it up. There wasn't, now you could be anywhere and follow the teams and and get the inside like you were around the corner. That doesn't matter now. But Steve foresaw that, and he said the youth will be affected. So sure enough, we're coming home last night. My Massimo and I are driving home from football practice. So we're talking, and I said something about the Eagles. I was like, yo, dude, something about it hurts, and they're going to be good, and this and that, and Barkley, and I'm like talking Eagles with him. And he said, yeah. He goes, but the Chiefs are better. I said, well, you can't say that now. Anyways, we get in this conversation, and he said, I like the Chiefs, Daddy, because I like the Eagles. I said, because then I asked him, I said, well, the Eagles are your squad. He goes, yeah, but I like the Chiefs too. And I'm sitting here, and I'm listening to this kid, my child, and I'm going, what? What do you mean? Oh, well, I like the Chiefs. I like Mahomes. And then I'm going, what? Yeah, I like Mahomes, Daddy. He's the best. He goes, Jalen Hurts is overrated. This is my son saying this, 11 years old. Jalen Hurts is overrated. When I was 11, those dudes walked on water. Those guys were superheroes. I mean, I would go to Larry Boa, defending Larry Boa and defending, Randall Cunningham and Julius Erving and Charles Barkley and all those guys. I would defend them from criticism. And here's my own son, 11 years old, telling me Jalen Hurts is overrated. Mahomes, obviously Mahomes is the GOAT. I get it. But my son, you're not supposed to do that. Then I was like, I got to get off this subject. He's like, well, I kind of like Buffalo a little bit. I was like, what? So then I get off and I go, Dad, Phillies tonight. And then he goes, I said, Phillies tonight, 10 o'clock. I said, well, maybe you can stay up and watch the game with me. He said, all right. He goes, I said, they're playing the Dodgers. He goes, oh, yeah, Dodgers. And I went, the Phillies are your team, right, Daddy? Like, the Phillies are your favorite team. And he went, yeah, the Phillies are, but he goes, I like the Dodgers, too. I'm like, you can't like the Dodgers. You have to hate the Dodgers. He said, Ohtani's the greatest. I said, you got Bryce. And my whole world is shook today over my son, who could be a rat. I right away, that this is our teams. We don't stray. You can like players, but you can't like those teams. So I'm in a battle. So I want to talk about youth and fandom today. And so Steve's going to join us. But let me get to my cohorts. Of course, my buddy VG was already taking glee in my pain. You kind of root for my pain a little bit. I sense that.
It sounds like there could be bad parenting going on over there.
What bad parenting? Why would it be bad parenting? Violations, Greg Caputo. And look who's back from his wedding. JP.
Buenos dias. Thank you, guys.
John Zapata. Welcome back, married man.
Feels so good to be back. I got the ring before the Sixers, cuz.
That's right. Look at you.
He's still smiling.
Good for you. Yeah, he's glowing, the honeymoon glow.
Yeah, he's
got the glow, baby. Yeah.
That's so I
dude.
Hey, listen, I was stuck with my wife for 40 hours.
It's Sunday. Eagles are playing.
He'll be putting together drawers.
Yeah. You'll be like closet trying to figure stuff out. You want to watch the game. Yeah, you're in for it, buddy.
Yeah, I know.
Welcome to the club.
I appreciate it.
All right.
Glad to be back.
You. God bless you and your bride.
Appreciate it.
So, VG.
The chat room saying this all started with you allowing the Mike Trout love.
Man,
You might have some culpability
I
here.
like this topic.
No, but the Mike Trout love came from the fact is he's from Philadelphia.
He was.
He's a local kid who you can look up to because he's a local kid. That straddled the rules because he's local. It was always local. You got to root local.
I'm just saying. You're not a big Zach Gallen fan. I don't hear you spouting off about Zach.
I like Zach. I like Zach. Zach, we talked about him going to Brothers too.
I'm just a messenger. I'm just saying what the people are saying in the room.
No, dude, I'm so worried over this. It's got me freaked out.
Because you're fine. Trust me, you're fine. Listen,
no, dude, you don't understand.
It's a gratification thing.
These kids are different today.
Yes, they are.
They're different. Like they don't have the wide-eyed goo goo gaga like I had. And you had that, didn't you?
Of course.
Yeah.
You're
Now you don't, but back in the day you did. Like you had the goo goo gaga. We had that. Like we looked up at these athletes like they walked on water. Like those guys were amazing people. Like we just loved them. And now I'm looking at my kid and I just
sounds like he might be a bit of a front runner here with the Mahomes and the Otani. He only likes the teams with the best players.
I know. No, he's like Otani's the man. I'm like, I go bleep Otani stinks. I was giving him the VG treatment. I go, dude, you got Bryce. And he's like, yeah, Otani does everything. He's pitches.
Can't even grow a beard. Get out of here with that Otani guy.
Dude, I'm with you. And then he goes, but the way he said that Jalen Hurts was overrated, it pierced my heart.
I feel you.
You just make him own that. He's going to regret it this year. He's going to be on fire this year.
Got to be a man of your word. So he's got to stick with that.
No, I'm just praying because I want to stick it up his geese.
I feel your pain though. Like one Christmas, like 4 or 5 years ago, my one nephew, he opened a present and he got a Kyrie Celtics jersey. I was like, what? How violations of Greg? You can't be. My nephew can't be in a Kyrie Celtics jersey.
What?
And yeah, he wasn't really a Sixers fan. He's loved Kyrie and the Celtics.
And in all seriousness, it's just really like because like when you guys were growing up, you'd have the access to the whole world like these kids have now. Like these kids, if they want to indulge in Chiefs history, Patrick Mahomes videos, you can watch Patrick Mahomes workout video. Like the access for these kids is ridiculous. So these kids can see these teams.
I know, and that's and that's why we're having Steve on today because Steve told me this years ago. I was kind of be back in 03, 04. He goes, your 4 for 4 dictatorship is over, dude. Like in the next generation, whatever he said, next generation is going to be, free agents. I go, dude, if you grew up in Philadelphia in the Delaware Valley, you have to root for your teams. Again, it's about community. It's about togetherness. That's what it's about.
That's what got me into it.
You can't, I don't care what it is, but if you're a fan of the Cowboys and you live in Philadelphia, who are you sharing it with? Nobody.
No, you're
nobody.
right.
If they ever win, which they're not, you can't share it. That's my whole point on this, is that it's about the community, about where you come from, about your neighbors, about togetherness. Sports builds churches.
It's not even just, it's a life lesson I always say, like, listen, the Phillies is the perfect example, right? Like we went through a decade of just dreadful baseball. These past 2 years, it's been really freaking good, but it feels so much better watching the Phillies playing well, being in a World Series, being in an NLCS after 10 years of dread baseball. It's gratifying at that point, and that's the best part of being a fan.
There's civil rebellion going on. They know it hurts you. I always thought
especially him.
Yeah, I always thought like if I had a kid, I would listen to the worst music in the car so that they would rebel and like good music, like metal or something. And this is what it is. This is
like metal.
Yeah,
I love it.
But this is a rebellion thing. I think they're sticking it to you a little bit.
I would do that to my dad,
dude. I think you're spot on because he's a little rat bastard. Like
yeah, he knows he's just sticking it to you.
Like he knows. Like, we battle constantly. Oh, my God, we battle. My oldest one, yes, Daddy. Like, whenever I say, yes, Daddy, I go, Dad, you got to run today. You got, like, Sunday. And I go, well, you got to get your run in. All right, Daddy. Right. The little one, I go, dude, we got to work on your feet. He'll say, roll his eyes, do this and that. And I go, knock it off. Enough with that.
You got polar
No,
opposites.
dude, if I see him one more time, give me that. Like,
This is going to call for lockdown reprogramming measures. You got to get the phone, put some kind of program on there that locks out all team mentions except the Philly teams. Just nothing but Philly
That's
highlights.
genius.
Philly highlights around the house. If he plays any sports games, he has to be.
Yeah.
his
Well,
favorite
he
team.
plays
gotta take
all.
him to
That's
school,
what he
cuz.
does.
Well,
He
you
plays-
got to lock out all the teams somehow.
I know. Can you do that?
I don't know.
like
You
parental,
can't do that?
like parental
Isn't
guide. Like,
Bodner-
You can't
Bodner
do
a
that.
tech dude?
No.
Bodner's not a tech guy who can get in there and
I need
switch it up a
Bodner.
little?
Where's Derek Bodner? I need Bodner. He's got to rewire our PlayStation.
only Philly sports teams.
Oh,
Ed
God.
Wright's like, well, Ohtani is the best batter, pitcher, and handicapper in baseball.
That is how fandom
Like
is
when
going
I
these
was
days.
his
Cuz.
age, those guys were gods.
I get it.
And he right,
Well,
he's overrated. Get the he's a slap.
Well, I mean, we live in a day and age where people like people will call like Joel Embiid trash because he hasn't played in
I
NBA
know.
Finals.
Tell me about it. Like it used to be, the old heads when we were growing up. The old heads were miserable. They were just
Everyone was bums.
saber-toothed tigers.
Yeah, they're all
they're bums. Bums. They stink.
I can't tell you
Like-
how many times I heard my grandfather call like Mike Schmidt a bum.
I know. I mean, I know.
Greatest third
Destroy
baseman
these
ever.
dudes. Destroy them. He's a bum. Nowadays, the kids are like that.
The kids are the miserables.
What the frig?
Man, you didn't give him the old, hey, Hurts was, if it wasn't for a bum penalty call, Hurts would have beat Mahomes in that Super
Of
Bowl.
course I said that.
Yeah,
Of
he
course
wasn't
I
having any
said
of it.
that. I got to double down on Jalen. I'm like all in on Jalen. Come on, Jalen. I need you, buddy.
Oh man,
All right. We got lots to get to today.
we got you, cuz.
But first, I got to tell you about Primo Hoagies. See that Primo is our. That's another franchise, the Primo Hoagie, a Philadelphia franchise. And there's over 90 franchises across the Delaware Valley and spreading across the country. That's right. For 30 years, Primo Hoagies has offered a culinary experience that celebrates tradition, quality, and the unmistakable flavor of Philadelphia. Right? You root for Philadelphia, you root for Primo's. From the finest meats and cheeses to their award-winning seeded bread baked in stores every couple hours. We were there, in fact, recently, last week. What a blast it was. Everybody's happy, and the pickies and all the hoagies, sandwiches. I brought them home. Anthony loved the meatball sandwich. Masso, the rat, loved. In fact, I got him a cheesesteak. He loved that. They have cheesesteaks at some Primos that are amazing. Everything they make is terrific. So check out, become a Primo Rewards member. Get $2 off Primo-size hoagies every Wednesday. All right? So whether you call it a hoagie, a sub, a grinder, well, we don't call it that. We call it a hoagie. You taste the taste, the Primo difference. Make your next event Primo with hoagie trays and party platters. Perfect for any occasion. Go to PrimoHoagies.com. You'll say what I always say. It's not just a hoagie. It's a Primo.
All right, cuz. Well, guys, while you're outside enjoying that Primo's hoagie, you got to make sure you're protecting those eyeballs. And with my friends over at Shady Rays, you're going to be protecting those eyeballs, but you're going to be styling and profiling, guys. And listen, just got back from the honeymoon in Colombia. That sun was beaming, guys. But, you know, I had my Shady Rays. I was protected and even got some compliments, too, from some of the locals there. They were loving the Shady Rays, and I had to put them onto my Shady Rays. And you guys need to do the same thing here now. Some of the reasons why I love Shady Rays, guys, look. We're all in this, this inflationary day that we're living in. Everything's going up in price. We can't afford anything. But with Shady Rays, guys, you can get a bang for your buck. And that's what we're all looking for. A high-quality sunglass that you won't have to break the bank for. And the best part about it is, look, if you happen to lose it or break it, we've all been in that situation. Shady Rays is here for you. They will replace that first one there for you for free. Guys, nobody, and I mean nobody, is doing that here today. And don't take it from me as far as the quality of Shady Rays. Take it from over the 300,000 people that have rated Shady Rays 5 stars or more. They agree that it is a great product. And for this summer, guys, you need to be silent profile with Shady Rays. And as always, we have you hooked up with that promo code right now. Head on over to Shady Rays. Check out their 1,000 different styles that they have for sunglasses. Use the promo code PHLY. That'll get you 35% off your polarized sunglasses. So, guys, what are you waiting for? We still have an entire month here of summer. Protect those eyeballs today with our friends over at Shady Rays.
All right, JP, thanks, buddy. My man Tom Loudon says Rumor has it Moss likes subs, not hoagies.
He's a subsman.
Yeah, he's a subsman.
It's all right, cuz.
So I need I gotta get
Need some
sage
wisdom.
advice. I need wisdom, sage advice. So I go to my dear friend who foresaw all of this. I remember he's half a Nostradamus. He's my man, the great Steve Martorano. Stevie!
Yo, cuz. Where am I? Okay, I'm over here.
There you go.
How you doing, Ant?
So I'm not doing well. You said this. Now, you foresaw all. Now, I want to see if you remember it. You said to me one day we walk in and you went, all this 4-for-4 dictatorship that you throw out there, well, it's all going to come crumbling down on you. He said, technology will be your death. You said that. You said that it makes it easier for kids to follow sports outside the area. You said fantasy football would break all this stuff down, the red zone. You foresaw this, Steve Martorano.
Well, I remember what I said. The problem was you didn't.
What?
But
I thought
I said I remember what I said. The problem is you didn't.
I gave you chapter and verse. Well, I remembered to the T what you said.
But you weren't ready for it. All right, listen. I want to tell you. I want to address myself to your colleagues there. By the way, they are now in the great brotherhood of people you have run over on your way to stardom. It's unbelievable. Congratulations, guys. Congratulations. You'll be in the witness protection program in 2 weeks. Anyway, here's the deal. Am I wrong?
He's the guy I look up to.
Am I wrong?
Well, you need some tough love right now. You got some chaos going on in your house.
Yeah, we don't know what's going on with the parenting.
Anthony's had more partners than Warren Beatty.
He's got material.
Well, it's the freaking business that you always said was filled with thieves and whores.
That's right. Oh, that's another day. Anyway.
Yeah, you blaming me. Well, you blame all those freaking. You were in management. Bunch of rats in management, radio.
Right. Well, yeah. Well, that's why they and I parted company many years ago. Anyway, here's the deal. You guys must know by now that this is no small thing that his son has jumped ship. This is a Shakespearean tragedy in the Gargano family. I mean,
We're feeling it. I was getting a text last night.
Real quick, what you got to know, because I raised kids already, you're raising them now. When you're young, you make bold moves. You make definitive statements. When I was growing up, for instance, the prevailing wisdom was live fast, die young, leave a good-looking corpse. That's obviously a bad idea. But that was the wisdom among young people. Now that I've gotten into the autumn of my life, my goals have changed. I mean, right now, frankly, my major goal is to just please let me outlive Keith Richards. That's all. All right, so Massimo looks around. Listen, it's the Chiefs. The Chiefs are the Dallas Cowboys of this generation. They're everywhere. Superstar girlfriends, the whole thing. It's hard to avoid at his age, right? But what he's doing, and I know this because I used to pretend to know what I was talking about psychologically, is what he's doing is separating himself from you. Okay? You have shoved this 4x4 down everybody's throat, and your kid's the first one to go, yes, says who? I'm going to root for them. So, you gotta, either the kid comes to his sense or he keeps rooting for, a tremendous football team. What's that make him stupid? And it could be worse, Ant. He could be a Dallas fan.
Well, yes. I did ask him what teams you hate the most, and he said the Cowboys. That made me feel a little bit better. But
I mean, he still wants some birthday gifts and Christmas gifts.
Yes, but he
he wants that Mahomes jersey.
Are you kidding me? He's lucky they still feed him.
Really, hey, Stevie, I was last night. I was destroying. I was screaming at him last night. What do
You know
you
what?
mean?
And
We
that'll work.
are
Yeah,
the Eagles.
yeah, yell at them. That'll work. That always works. Jump up and down a little bit too. Scream and yell, throw things. That works.
Listen,
That just confirms his suspicion about. There's a good chance my father's nuts. I love him, but he may be crazy. Here's the other thing, and I'll give you another warning here now. Yeah, I think all that stuff is true about technology. It began with like rotisserie baseball, then fantasy football, and the technology. They took team games and broke them down into their component parts. So, you get two generations of kids now. Maybe they look to see whether the team won or not, but they're looking to see what the quarterback did. Did he throw 3 picks? Or same with baseball. My guy get his hit last night. All that stuff, and they break down team loyalty. The other thing the teams did was this changing of uniforms. I understand it's a merchandising move, and they make a lot of money, but it's like changing the flag where I come from.
yes,
Change the uniform every 15 minutes. Who are we rooting for?
yes,
You're rooting
yes.
for, let me tell you something. In the deepest level, you're not rooting for those individuals. You're rooting for the uniform, right? All right, now the uniform looks like this, now it looks like that. Now we're going to wear green, we're not going to wear green. Who cares? So kids don't build that. You salute the flag, right? You salute
You're
the flag.
spot on. This is why, even though I knew I was going to take some sort of shrapnel for some reason, because he has to do it every time. This is the wisdom.
Well, this is why you like this, because now it's not your fault. It's the leagues for changing the colors and the
Correct.
flags. Yeah, it's not bad
Wait,
parenting going on.
hold on. It is his fault. What are you kidding me?
Thank you, Steve. Thank you.
Are you kidding me? He's the cheerleader of cheerleaders. He's in the front of that parade. You should have seen his face when I told him this was going to happen. Oh, you're a hippie. You're a hippie. You don't care. I used to call him the sports Nazi. Is what it was. I'm just telling you what it is. Let me do one other thing, and at the risk of freaking the hell out of your sponsors, and I don't mean to do this. The next big threat to everything we're talking about right now is legalized gambling. Now,
Yes.
listen, gambling's gambling. People always want to gamble. There's nothing wrong with it. Legalization was just going to happen. Young kids, though, stay away from those prop bets. Those in-game bets, man, that is just bad stuff. And not only is it bad from fandom, because they don't care about the team anymore, how much yardage did my guy get?
Right.
But how many players already? They keep sweeping it under the rug. These guys are gambling. These athletes are placing bets, and it's going to bite them in the butt. So let legalize, that prop betting thing. You got to watch that stuff.
Yeah.
You got to watch that. Now, of course, nobody laid a bet in your house ever, right? So what's the threat? You're going to do gambling.
Right.
But keep them away from the prop bets. Okay, anything else I can straighten out?
Well, let's look at the Eagles for a second, and I want to tap your wisdom because I think the town still has that psyche, that fragile, damaged psyche from 10-1 and the collapse.
Right.
So where are you at with the Birds as a lifelong Eagles fan?
Yeah. Well, you know how I feel about it. All of this is prelude. It's important. You get a sense of what's going on. But what happens is, I wait for the first game. Let's see what they're for real about. Here's what bothers me about the Eagles. And I don't know if I'm the only one that's mentioned it. I can't be. I've never gotten a definitive answer about what happened. I have not gotten an answer from anybody in authority who was close there and saw it that can tell me how they I mean, they didn't lose some tight games. They collapsed.
Yeah.
Where's the explanation for that?
Yeah.
Much less the accountability.
Right.
Doesn't somebody have to lose their job? I mean, except two guys that were over their heads to begin with. What happened? And so I wonder whether or not whatever that problem was isn't still somewhere in the organization, festering, waiting to pop up again at the wrong time. Other than that, I'm all in for the Eagles. I like the moves they've made. I wish Reddick was still with them. But Barkley is, he's a stud. Let's see what Jalen does. No,
So, what's your theory in what happened? Like that, you're looking at you. You always have a good way of looking from afar.
yeah,
You have any theories, Detective
I have,
Martorano?
they're just, my theories are worth, practically nothing, but I do think the first 10 games were a little bit of a mirage. I remember after the Buffalo win, I remember thinking, I can't explain it anymore. Why they
Right.
keep, it was done in analyzing it. And I just went, well, they keep winning. Well, that mojo sort of went away. But then there was something else about the lack of desire and just, and look, here's how it works in any organization I've ever seen. When you collapse like that, whose head rolls? Okay?
Right.
It didn't happen. Why didn't it happen? What were they worried about? That they were going to have to start all over again from scratch?
Well, the interesting thing is, you had a guy like Belichick looming out there, and I don't, look, he's still looming. I mean, he's been up front saying that the Eagles' job interests him.
Well, let me ask you a question. And I'll ask you guys too. What would the reaction be if somehow or another he winds up with the head coach job? The town would go nuts, right? They would think,
Yeah.
12 Super Bowls
Yeah.
are coming.
Yeah.
Listen, I know he's 900 years old. He's 900 years old. Come on, give me a break. And
He's got a
last time I checked,
25-year-old girlfriend.
yeah, I know. He's amusing. He's funny. He wants to die in bed. Hey, good for him. Good for him. But anyway, I don't think Belichick's a savior. I don't think Belichick's a savior. Last time I checked, you get Belichick, you don't get Brady. So,
What are you
anyway,
thinking, Nick?
Listen, I always look forward to the Eagles. You know me, I go way back. I'm one of the last people around who still hates the Giants more than the Dallas Cowboys, and I always will, because they were the ones that used to break our heart. I still love Jalen. Brown. I love them all. I love this football team. I hope they do well and not disappoint us. Meanwhile, if I may take a moment and ask, what the hell is happening to the baseball team? I don't know what's going on. Do you?
So, speaking of collapses, and we're getting so worried because unlike the Eagles, first the 10-1, the Phillies, I believed in how good they are, and I still believe. I still think it's baseball and long season. I don't think there's anything fundamentally wrong, other than I think the pitching. The pitching is eroded, right? So Ranger on the DL hasn't been well, right? Sanchez kind of comes down to earth. So I think that's kind of got you. So Phillips has to come in the rotation. I think the starting pitching, which was so great, has failed them right now.
Well, and the bullpen, which was supposed to be the gold standard here,
Yeah.
it's all over the highway now. I mean, the other night when Hoffman came in,
Yes.
I thought, well, here we go. This is the only guy who can get people out.
Yeah.
And he's in the strike zone. He doesn't get too fancy. He, pitches I think he pitches the contact because he's got a lot of confidence. Suddenly he can't get the ball and keep the ball in the ballpark. So it's a mess from pillar to post. There's a lot of kumbaya on this team, which I think, I heard you earlier, you guys saying, start ripping people. Nobody rips this team. And I get it. It's impossible, I guess, to rip Harper. I don't know why, but it is.
Well, you know why. I mean, what slumps are going to happen, right? So he was in the slump, 7 for 47, I guess it was, something like that, 6 for 47. But he carried you before. He's one of the best. He moves to first base to accommodate the roster. Is the best player. First base. At some point you go, why are you ripping that guy?
Yeah. No, I know he's the last guy. Although I will say for a superstar baseball player, he whines a little too much about balls and strikes. Okay, cut it out. Just hit the ball and shut up for $35 million. Real seriously. Tell me another superstar superstar, future Hall of Famer, who whines that much about balls and strikes.
Ah,
Come on, man.
it's part of the game.
On West Cheltenham.
That's
Get the
part of
hell
the
out of here.
game.
Part of the game. Mickey never
The
did.
Mick!
Willie never
Oh, man!
Mick.
did. Never did. Chase Utley, when they threw a bad ball at Chase Utley, he took all doubt out. He just leaned into it and got it.
That's true.
That's why Chase is the man. Oh, here's a ball. Let me get it hit. Boom. It's great.
Violations Greg has a question for you on
Yes.
Sirianni.
Oh yeah, what do you think of Nick Sirianni? I mean, are you a fan
Well,
of him? Do you believe in him?
I think they love him, but he's a complete mystery to me in terms of, in game. It's impossible sitting where I'm sitting during a game to understand, who's making decisions when and under what circumstances. But there seemed to be at some point a lack of connection between him and the whole thing. Because at the end of the day, it comes down to him. He's the guy, and that team. I don't want to use the word quit, but you saw it. Did they look like they had fire? Did they look like they were worried? No. That was the worst playoff loss I have ever seen. They embarrassed the city with that effort. That's almost unforgivable. And nobody threw themselves on their shield or on their sword. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They put a couple of guys up and blew them out. But nobody else has explained it to me. I like the guy. I think, it's a shame to talk about let's move him out of there. But they moved Doug Peterson. Now he won a Super Bowl. I mean, it's possible. It happens. But he left unscathed. I don't know what his role is today. Do you know what his role is today?
He seems to be a good cheerleader.
He's
a
like
caretaker.
that.
He's a hype man.
He's like the CEO in the board meeting who looks around like he's taking it all in, and his first question is, "Well, what do you think?" I mean, no, what do you think? Not what I think. You're the boss.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. What do I know? I don't know.
Well, Steve, the other question mark too has been the coordinators. So how do you feel about the new coordinators this year?
Well, they've got great reputations. They obviously know what they're doing. But in this context, don't they, and they're not doing it, but don't they seem to have something of the circling vulture about them? I mean, they're not going to get fired if the Eagles get off to a 1-3 start or a 2-5 start. They're not going to get fired. They know who is going to get fired, and one of them is going to wind up the head coach. Is that a good dynamic?
Yeah.
Point.
Yeah, that's a great point. Stevie, how are the grandkids?
Everybody's good, everybody's fine, and everybody is an Eagle fan and a Phillies fan.
Wait, tell the guys what the kids call you.
They call me Papa. It was good enough for Hemingway. It's good enough for me.
Is he not the greatest?
I love that.
And I love Papa because his first choice was Steve.
Every time I have 5 now, every time one comes and I would suggest that, I would get daggers at me. I said, what? I said it makes it easy for me. Then I know they're talking to me. I don't know who they're talking to. So yeah, they're all great. Everybody's good. We're lucky. We're lucky.
We love you, buddy. We miss you. You're the greatest. One day I got to get you in here. All right.
Oh, I'd love to do that. I want to see your operation anyway. Good luck. Hey guys.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Good luck.
Thanks, Steve. You're awesome.
Wow, you look at this. He's surrounded by these young Turks. It's great. Because Anthony's old. You don't want to admit it, but Anthony's old.
50s and new 30s.
He's a great guy to wear. He's the best guy I've ever sat with. Listen, I spent more time with him for a long period of time than I did with anybody else. And he only threatened to kill me once or twice.
Well, he had a rule, because I'm handsy.
Yes.
Right? And he was
Yeah.
like, don't, I would go, oh, Steve.
Yeah.
No. If I came near him, he'd go like this. No.
Smart man. I need to incorporate a little bit of that.
No, listen. First, I don't know if he smokes anymore, but back when we first started
No.
working, he was a cigarette smoker. So during this must have been the first break, the first 15 minutes I ever worked with him. It's a break. He jumps up and says, "I'm going to go out and get a smoke. Come on, come with me." I looked at him and I went, "What are you nut? Why? I got to watch you smoke? What are you, crazy? Why would I go out on the balcony here and have it?" He looked at, "What's wrong with you?" I said, "Get out of here." He's a nut. He wants to bring you in. He wants to smother you. Leave your son alone, by the way. He'll be okay.
Thanks, dude. I really appreciate you.
Anything else I
coming
can straighten? Anything else I can straighten out for you?
No, that's enough. That's more than enough for one day. All right, buddy.
Listen, I'm on my way to meet a bunch of guys I used to work with 100,000 years ago, and we sit around at this point and we discuss our latest visits to the doctor, and we call it an organ recital. Hey, how's your spleen?
Good luck. I'm rooting for your kidneys.
Yeah, I'll be here all week.
Don't forget to tip your servers.
That's right. There you go.
Thanks, buddy. We love you.
Take care, guys.
See you,
See you,
pal.
Steve.
Steve Martorano, what a
was great.
dear friend and one of the funniest guys ever.
Seriously.
One of the funniest guys ever. My God. Nobody has that dry, acerbic wit like he does.
That's good.
It's hysterical. All right, time now for the brain.
Brain. Red, the brain finder.
All right, the brain brought to us by the BetPark Sportsbook and Casino app. Good morning, Brain. How are you, buddy?
Good morning. I'm outstanding. How are you?
All right.
Tough loss for the Phillies last night. Got off to that early lead. Was feeling good. And then just Nola didn't have it last night.
He didn't. No, he didn't. And that when he doesn't have it, it's that one inning. Pitch count goes up. He starts to scuffle, right? Starts to press. And then Teoscar happens.
Yeah.
It happens, man. I mean, they're going up against our ace Glass now. That's the one you lose. They take the next two. We're all good.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it, Greg's.
I mean, Kershaw stinks.
It is a tough road trip
And
here.
the third game's a toss-up.
Listen, I'm throwing this whole thing out. I just don't want to collapse, right? I'll go get through this trip, and then let's start
It's
over.
a big game for them with Freeman coming back and Glass on the mound. It's an emotional game. So, yeah. And it was a 4-3 game basically till the end.
Yeah, Brad's not buying
4-3, 5-3. Yeah, I mean, a loss is a loss. But look, they just swept this team, obviously in Philly. But it's just been a bad stretch. And again, I'm gonna have to just stop harping on it. But I really feel like the Phillies. I told you, I just will never understand the Flaherty thing. I think that's going to come down as the biggest mistake. Not only they didn't make, but every other team going for it. I will be curious to see what this guy finishes with the Dodgers. I will say he will be as good as any starter in the league. Still cannot figure out for the life of me how they got him for a song. It just angers me. I can't help it. I know I bitch about it every show.
Pull an oblique, but he's a star of my fantasy team, so I can't ask for that.
Oh, you have Flaherty in your fantasy team? Oh, my God. Yeah.
Otherwise, I'd be asking for the oblique strain.
Yeah. I hear you.
Brad, the pressing question is, when do we start betting the White Sox to win? They got to win eventually, right?
Oh, my God.
No, I mean, I've been betting this. No, they really don't. I mean, it's funny. You look at their team right now. They really don't. It is just a barren team. I mean, they have Robert, who obviously is solid. Vaughn, I guess, is maybe a major league hitter. Benintendi's shown nothing. I mean, they have the worst offense and the worst pitching. That's last time I checked, not a good combination for victory. So it's going to be tough. I mean, this is just a god awful team. And they got rid of Eloy Jimenez, who's probably their second best hitter. On top of just a brutal team. I mean, there's nothing. And they traded Eric Fetty, who was their number 2 starter. I mean, this team has nothing.
They're not. They throw nothing.
I mean, they can't reach 30 games, can they?
Their pitching is wretched.
They are 3 losses away from breaking 61 fills.
Are they really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Who they got? So they got Oakland the next 2.
Let me find their schedule.
Look at their schedule, JP.
Well,
Have you been betting against them every night?
They made well, it's funny. They made Ross Stripling's over/under for runs tonight 1.5. It took everything I had not to bet the over. I was going to. I literally was
Stripling
going to because Ross
stinks.
Stripling is. He's a get. Listen, he's a 7 alarm fire. Forget 3 alarm. Forget 5 alarm. He's a
Yes, he
7
is.
alarm fire. Okay, he makes Patrick Corbin look like Cy Young, but I'm just like, you know what? Do I want to trust this White Sox team to score 2 runs? I was
Well,
about
you
to
don't
do
like
it.
that
and
Billy
I'm like,
Baldwin?
So they have 2 more against
Yeah.
the A's, 2 with the White Sox, and then 3 against the Yankees.
Oh, they got 2 more with Oakland, and then they play the Yankees?
Cubs first, and then the Yankees.
Oh, the
2
Cubs.
against the Cubs, and then the Yankees first.
But
3.
Oakland's their best chance here. I mean, Ross Stripling,
Yeah.
they're theoretically facing a guy that
They win tonight.
is as bad as anyone. So, I mean, it's just – but, again, it's just hard to trust this White Sox team. I mean, it's –
Look at this lineup. You ready, Brain?
I read it. It's crazy. I saw
Vargas,
it.
he was the cast off from the Dodgers, leading off. Sosa, Robert, Vaughn, Nick Senzel is still around.
Wow.
Who was that
So
high
he's the worst
pick?
picker.
He never
That's
did
the
anything.
worst pick in baseball history. 2nd pick in the draft.
Yes.
Biggest bust ever.
Benintendi, who stinks.
Horrible.
Baldwin, who stinks. The guy Jokes, who is from the Astros. He stinks.
Yep.
Robinson, Chucky Robinson, who's from the
That's a great name, though.
He's the catcher.
I do like the name
Him
Chucky
and the kid
Robinson.
Lee. What's that?
I do like that. It's funny. It reminds me of Chucky. Remember Chucky Brown?
Yes. Chuck, I love Chucky Brown.
That's a great
And
baseball name.
NBA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But no, that is a bad team. And look, they have Crochet on a pitch count now. It's going to be very hard for this team to win many games. I mean, this is just as bad as it gets. Look,
Brad, did you say Nick Senzel's the worst draft pick?
One of them, yeah. Nick Senzel, 2nd pick in the draft.
I was like, Mickey
He's had
Moniak's
0
got to be up there, right?
Mickey Moniak, yeah, but I'll tell you the difference. No, let me interject.
Yeah.
Mickey Moniak actually had a good I'll say very good half season last year. He may have stunk in every level, but I don't have the stats in front of me. I'll bet you his 80 games last year, if you bring up the stats, were flat out good. I'll use the word good. Nick Senzel has been horrible in every stint of his career. At least he could say, when he talks to his grandkids, in 2023, I played well. That, to me, is the difference.
Hey, Brad.
Bring it up. Bring up the stats. I want to know
will.
if I'm right on this. I'm pretty sure he had an OPS over 800 and was pretty good last year.
All right. So I just looked. The White Sox have lost of their last 7 losses. Only one's been within 1 run. So you just play the opposite run line against them.
It's not as simple as that, but the way this team is right now, if it's a professional team, I mean, I'm not going to do it with Ross Stripling, but if it's a decent pitcher, sure, I'll be looking to bet against this team at the run line. Because they're probably you're going to see when they play the Yankees, it's going to be 2.5.
Right.
They're going to bypass the 1.5, and it's going to be 99.8% of the time you won't see that. This is going to be the 2 out of 1,000 you do. When they play the Yankees, those games will be -2.5, not -1.5. And deservedly so.
Because it's just so hard to get plus money against them. Or today, the Athletics are in +110, -1.5.
But again, VJ, you're taking a starting pitcher that is bad as the White Sox are. It's funny, my buddy said it to me, which kind of slapped me in reality. He's like, if Ross Stripling was in AAA, do you think he'd have an ERA in the 3s? And I'm like, no, I don't. So I don't. And I'm like, okay, I'm facing a AAA lineup. And he kind of, because I was just about to do it, I'm like, you know what? I don't think Ross Stripling would have an ERA in the 3s. I really don't. So it's like, okay, he's facing a AAA lineup. He'll probably get hit as well. Just don't need it in my portfolio.
I like the White Sox. They're like Sox.
You like the Sox tonight?
Yeah, they're going to rank against Stripling.
So for Brad, in 2023, Mickey Moniak batted with a 280 batting average. He had a 495 slugging average and an 802 OPS.
There you go.
I hate Mickey Moniak. Oh, I hate him.
No, I'm not saying I don't either.
Like when they drafted him, this draft an outfielder who's a pencil bat. I hate that.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Hey,
we knew it at the time, Anthony. We knew it at the time. That was what was frustrating about that.
Yes.
This wasn't like something that came as a shocker like Tyson Buster Douglas.
Went with Moniak.
Horrible.
Clintac.
So I got they come up with the weirdest things. I get these emails, right?
I love it.
You can bet how many wins an NFL team will have in the first 5 games.
Yes.
So I'm going to give you the
five
Eagles.
shootout or something like that.
This is insane. So for the Eagles that have to win 2 out of 5, they're plus 170. If they go 3-2, they're plus 200. 1-4 plus 350. 4-1 plus 600. 5-0 plus 800. And 0-5 plus 5,000.
What are the first 5 games?
What's that?
Read me the first 5 games.
All right.
Green Bay, Atlanta, New
Wait, hold on.
Orleans.
Green Bay, Brazil.
Yep. Atlanta
That's
home.
50-50.
Atlanta home.
That should be about a 2 out of
Saints at
3
home.
win.
Saints on the
at
road.
Saints.
Right.
At Buccaneers
At Tampa.
and Cleveland here.
That's to me. I like the 4-1. They can go 4. I think they'll probably go
Brazil game is
4-1.
tough.
And you're going to give me how many odds? Are you getting 6-1?
Dude,
Did you say 600?
6-1 for 4-1.
Plus 600?
600, yeah.
I think that's actually, and I'm not, I usually think those bets are usually not fair odds, but I'd have to do the math on it more carefully. But if I had to pick a number, I think
Right.
it was a big pie in allocation. I would give 4-1 the highest grade. And to me, theoretically, there's, I actually think that they do that more than 1 out of 7. I really do. I mean, they're going to be favored in every one of the games, right?
Yeah. Every one of those games are favored.
Probably going to lose.
I mean,
one
I
of
think the
them.
Brazil game is the scariest game.
Exactly.
You do
They're
have
minus 1.5 in that game.
What's that?
So they're a tiny favorite. They're minus 1.5 in that game, right?
Yeah.
So they're like a 52% favorite, let's call it. But the other games, they should basically be, they should be favored more or less in all.
Yeah. I mean,
I'll tell you what I'm keeping an eye on, guys. I'm keeping an eye on the Browns season win total. If they get Ayuk, and they don't have to give up Amari Cooper as part of the deal, I think that's a team that's really can make some serious headways this year as the Browns.
yeah.
If you give me a team with
it all
Cooper
goes back to the quarterback.
and Ayuk,
If they get
and
it,
Joe-
he's got to play well because they have a great defense. They can run the
Yeah.
ball. It all goes back to Watson.
but if you surround Watson with an elite tight end and 2 elite receivers and Judy, if Judy becomes your number 3, as opposed to being, look, he was
I
never
hear you.
that. I
just
think
don't
that's
know
a
if
team
he's
that I really
done.
think could be dangerous.
Dude, he could be completely washed. I saw him
Could be.
complaining the other like a couple of weeks ago because he's reviled, right? And he's like, "Why do people hate me?" And he was upset.
He said that?
Yeah, basically saying why,
Deshaun Watson?
yeah, how much did people hate him, and he doesn't understand it.
Anthony, do you remember when he first came back? If you remember when I was on one of your shows, I talked about Watson in detail. And I said, when with Watson, I go, the thing is with him is that he is a guy that, like when Michael Jordan came back in that 1 year, he took off a year and he just didn't have it. I'm like, when Watson comes back, is he going to have it? Now, I didn't think it would potentially lose his entire career over this, but I'm not surprised it took him time
Yeah,
to
you and I
get back.
both thought he would have severe rust, but he hasn't shown a glimpse.
No,
of
he hasn't.
Like Flacco gave them life last year. Flacco with that offense played great.
Yeah. It was night and day.
At 100 years
It was
old,
night
played
and day.
well.
Yes.
Hey, Brad.
I would
let me
never
ask you-
never foreseen the Joe Flacco thing. It's funny. The 2 most shocking things, guys, tell me if you agree. When Geno Smith had that random good year 2 years ago, and Joe
Yes.
Flacco was good last year,
Yeah.
back to back, those were the 2 most. I cannot believe what I'm seeing because Geno Smith was bad 8 years in a row. Was flat out good for Seattle 2 years ago, and Joe Flacco. You talk about being done. He wasn't 6 feet buried. He was 36 feet buried. Okay. Buried,
Yeah, I can see
being
that
more than anyone
because
could be buried.
they had a good O-line. He had good, again, when he's with the Jets, they were just wretched. No O-line. They were hurt. I mean, that made sense to me. Geno Smith made no sense to me.
Well,
Yeah, he looked, he
Geno
thought he
Smith,
was
I-
cooked.
Brad, what do you think about the Steelers win total? I'm looking at this. Over
I bet
8.5 is plus 115. Mike Tomlin's never had a losing season. Seems
You
like
know,
easy
VG,
money.
I'm glad you said that, BG. I made a big bet on this, and I went the other way. And I'm going to tell you why.
Wow.
I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why. It's interesting. The narrative, the only reason this over-under is 8.5 is because of that narrative. Tomlin's never had a losing season, right? So because he's never had a losing season, it means he'll never will, right? He'll never have a losing season. Well, Bill Belichick had a pretty good run too, right? And when he gave him a roster that wasn't good enough, I don't think he got there, right? Greg Popovich had a pretty good coaching career. When Tim Duncan, Manu Ginobili, and Tony Parker retired, his IQ suddenly got a little bit less. When I look at Pittsburgh, and he's a great coach, probably going to make the Hall of Fame. I'm not criticizing anything about him. But look at their schedule, especially look at their last 8 games after they play Washington, I think in week 9. Their schedule is the hardest in the NFL. And I think you can make the argument, besides the Giants at home, I'm going by memory here, besides the Giants at home, I think there's a chance every one of their other games, they will either be an underdog or favored by 2 points or less. And I will dare a team that's basically going to be virtually not a legitimate favorite in any game except the Giants to win over half their games. And that schedule to me is vicious. I'm talking vicious. That's a team that could have used Ayuk. And by the way, you've seen the movie Dumb and Dumber. To me, that's Russ Wilson and Fields. I think these two quarterbacks stink. I think this offense is going to stink. They have no receivers besides Pickens. I think this team is just. I don't think there's enough offense. I really don't.
Wow.
Damn, man.
Those
It's
Yinzers
harsh
don't like
words.
that, Brad.
Harsh
I'm going
words.
against you, man. I'm going against you strong. You see it. The
So
schedule's
what are we
too
saying?
hard.
Under 6.5?
I think that they will win if I had to guess 6 or 7. I have a ton of respect for Tomlin, but yeah, I would like an alternate line of
6 and
under 6.5.
11.
You're probably getting plus 400.
Under 6.5 is plus 200.
I wouldn't do that. Okay, that's not worth it to me. But I would just take I bet under 8.5. And initially, again, I just thought the schedule was that difficult. We will see.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean,
All right, Brain. All right, real quick, at Brad'sBestBets.com, at Brad'sBestBets.com. What do you got tonight?
Yankees run line, my friend. Listen, Yankees are playing. Listen, Anthony, we talk about things can turn quickly in Major League Baseball. Yankees playing great baseball right now, facing an Angels team that stinks. I'm going to lay a 1.5 at home here. Louis Gill has been pitching really, really well as of late. Davis Daniels, below average starter. Again, we always talk about, if I'm going to lay a 1.5, it's only like minus $1.29. I want to feel like I can score 6+ runs, and I want to feel that I can hold them to 2 or less, because I really want to have a comfort level that I can win the game by more than 1 run. And I feel that in this game. I think the Yankees will score 6+. I don't think the Angels score 3. I like the Yankees only laying minus 129 with the run line. And Grayson Rodriguez, over 5.5 strikeouts. He's averaging closer to 7 strikeouts, 15-5 to this over this year. He's doing about 68% in his career. Toronto, when you look at the season data, yeah, they don't strike out a lot, but they've turned around their team. Recently, they're striking out a lot more because, again, they've gotten rid of a lot of their guys, going with younger players because they stink. I say Grayson Rodriguez, he had 8 strikeouts just as his last start against them. I bet over 4.5. This time he made it over 5.5, but I still like over 5.5 for a guy that usually gets closer to 7.
Hey, Brad, real quick. I was thinking Padres run line. Dylan Cease against the Bailey Falter and the Pirates.
Yeah, I mean, I would rather, honestly, I'd rather just lay, so what's a minus 160-ish?
Yeah, 160, 165.
I'd rather lay minus 160 in the game because the Padres are a team, VG. What I like about the Padres, and this is, I love their bullpen. If this game is 2-2 after 5, and you're laying a big price, usually you're being very nervous. I wouldn't feel that way with this Padres team because they have 4 guys that should allow 0 runs deep in their bullpen. But do I trust their lineup? We talk about with the Yankees, I trust them to score 6 runs if I'm laying a 1.5. If I'm laying a 1.5 with San Diego, no thank you. I really don't care who I'm going against because they're the kind of lineup to me they could score 0, 1, 2, 3 quite easily. So I would rather just take either the Pirates team total. I don't know if it's 3.5 or if it's 3.5. Was it 2.5 or 3.5? I'd have to see what it is. But I would probably prefer to take the Pirates team total under, or I would rather just lay the minus 160 because I think the Padres are the kind of team that could easily win by 1 run because they don't have a great offense.
Cool.
All right. Brain, great stuff. As always, the Brain brought to us by the BetPark Sportsbook Casino app. Thanks, my brother.
Appreciate it. I'll see you tomorrow.
There he is, the Brain checking in. Let's talk about the BetPark Sportsbook Casino app. Download it. Yes, tonight, Fightins. Here's the deal. You're in it, right? Like Kershaw is only minus 112. Sanchez is minus 108. The total over 8.5 runs, minus 102. So
This feels like Phil's line.
it is a Phil's line. I do think it's a Phil's line. And here's what I like. I think they're going to score runs tonight off of Kershaw, right?
Mm-hmm.
So their total is 3.5. The Phillies team total 3.5. I like it. The Dodgers lineup scares me a little bit when it comes down to that, because Sanchez, we need to get him right. But I think the Phillies will score over 3.5. So I like over 3.5. By the way, I like the White Sox tonight because that stripling stinks. So I'd say, what are they on the?
Because it's in on the White Sox.
There you go. The White Sox are plus 160.
You like that?
Yeah, against Stripling. He stinks, Stripling. So you take the shot to end the streak. All right, the BetPark Sportsbook Casino app, man. We tell you all the time. So not just all the stuff that we talk about with Brad, but they have incredible casino games, right? All your favorite casino games right in your pocket. So you have live baccarat, live blackjack, live roulette with live dealers, like an array of live blackjack games that you can play. They have all the slots that you want. They have everything. It's the excitement of the casino right in your pocket. And right now, new users, if you sign up for the BetPark Sportsbook Casino app, listen, if you're down, you can get up to $1,000 back if you're down in the first 24 hours. That's up to $1,000 back if you're down in the first 24 hours. So check out the betparks.com. That's all the details. BetPark Sportsbook Casino app. You play to win. You love to win. BetParks. Listen, check it out. You got to be in, if you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. You got to be in PA, New Jersey, Maryland, Michigan, Ohio. BetParks. All right. Also, let's talk about True Fan Travel. So I tell you, it's Philly Sports Trips, right? Which has become True Fan Travel. We were talking earlier about Brazil, Tampa, New Orleans. And last week, you remember, we had Vince from Philly Sports Trips and True Fan Travel on the show to talk about some of these trips that's going on. I mean, they got a New Orleans boat cruise. First of all, if you haven't ever been to New Orleans, to see the Eagles play down there, it's just a blast. It's so much fun. They have the Tampa, and they do so much fun stuff out of Clearwater. The Phillies, they're locked in Tampa, so they're going to show you a great time, beach parties, the whole thing. And then, of course, Brazil. They're doing a Brazil trip. And I know Baldy is going to be on the Brazil trip for Philly Sports Trips and True Fan Travel. They do it all. They have an array of trips. Check it out. You know, you want European travel, they have that. All kinds of fun stuff. Every Eagles away game they will be at. The bus trips to D.C., to New York, right? I mean, they got you covered that way. You want to go to Dallas, they do a Dallas trip. So much fun. TrueFanTravel.com. That's TrueFanTravel.com. Also, Philly Sports Trips. You can get it there at PhillySportsTrips.com. You can check out all the trips they have to offer. And again, traveling with your buddies is so much fun. It's a blast. You're going to make new friends. It's part of the community. So check it out. This portion of the show is brought to you by Rite Aid. RiteAid.com. Check out the Rite Aid nearest you for all the stuff that you need. Allergies, scripts, all those meds, over the counter, any kind of your scripts, any of your goods. You got it at RiteAid.com. John Zapata is back from his wedding. VG is back. He had a good movie he's going to tell us about a little bit later. He was excited by it. And joining us, it's our daily training camp report. So let's go live to the NovaCare facility. And there he is, under the hot sun, Zachariah. What do you say, Z-Berm?
I love training camp practice. I am a bit envious, though, of the air conditioning right now. It is a scorcher out here. Just like Kellen Moore's press conference, he probably saw the drip sweat as I was asking questions. It's fun to be on, and it's fun to be out here at practice.
Yeah. So a couple things. One, what did Kellen Moore say? What was the theme of today? And What are you looking forward to at practice today?
Yeah, Kellen Moore really emphasized how clean the operation has been, and he said that's going to be the emphasis during the preseason more than anything else. From his perspective, is making sure that operation's where it needs to be. I asked him about Jalen Hurts' lack of turnovers this camp. Jalen has not thrown an interception all camp, which 9 days in or eight practices in really does stand out to me. You don't typically see that. And what jumps out to Kellen Moore is how efficient Jalen Hurts is playing while still being aggressive, right? Because there are times when you're not turning the ball over because you're checking down and you're only throwing it safe. He says Jalen Hurts is not doing that. Jalen Hurts is still being aggressive throwing the ball, so he was encouraged by that. It's interesting, too. I know Bo was on your show yesterday talking about this. Tanner McKee is taking more work with the twos in recent days. Kellen Moore, as you would imagine him saying, he said that's independent of Kenny Pickett. What he's trying to do is get a young quarterback some unfamiliar looks. I can say to the naked eye here, Tanner McKee's outplaying Kenny Pickett, but we'll get another sample here today.
I know what's different about Jalen. People talking about the lack of turnovers. Some of that doesn't mean anything, but what it does mean is that he has looked like in command of this offense, right?
Yeah.
Like that's everything I hear and talking to people there. They are happy with his command of the offense and his decision making. That makes me excited.
You're absolutely right. And that's what jumps out to me is, command's a good way to put it. I've been saying efficiency because I've covered practices with Jalen, especially 2021, where the ball was on the ground too much, right? There were too many incompletions. And practice should favor the quarterback. You're wearing a red jersey, right? You're not getting sophisticated defensive looks against you. I've covered some of these joint practices with guys like Brady, for instance, where the ball doesn't touch the ground at all. And with Jalen this summer, there are times when you look at, because you keep track, all right, completion to AJ, completion to Devontae. You look at it at the end of a practice, and it's like 14 for 16, right, or something like that. And that jumps out to me more than anything else. The decision making, I'm hearing the same thing. You kind of take their word for it because you don't know what the progressions are on a given play. But I think if the most important thing to you in this training camp is how does Jalen look, I would say he's been like the standout player for me outside of Devontae AJ because he's just been so smooth and efficient with the football.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And then I keep hearing about Johnny Wilson and the Harold Carmichael 2.0.
Yeah, with Johnny Wilson, part of it, not to be a downer here, part of it is their lack of other options as far as the number 3 receiver, right? This is somewhat of an Achilles heel for the Eagles when you go beyond A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith. Like you shouldn't want your 6th round pick getting as much work with the ones as he is. But to his credit, he looks like he belongs out here. There was a play literally right behind me here. So this field, a goal line drill yesterday when Jalen hits Johnny Wilson for a touchdown. So Johnny Wilson's on the field with him, but Jalen did a good job throwing the ball behind Johnny Wilson away from the defense and requires his wideout to make an adjustment on the ball. Johnny Wilson did that. He's such a big frame in the red zone. On that field over there, they had one-on-ones the other day. Jalen threw 2 touchdowns to Johnny Wilson where he just out-jumped the defender. Like, it was good coverage by Zach McPherson. Johnny Wilson was just the bigger target. I spoke to Aaron Moorhead, the wide receivers coach, 2 days ago, and he said what jumps out about Johnny Wilson, like they emphasized, there were times in college where Johnny Wilson wasn't 100% the whole way through the game, right? You get to the 3rd quarter, you get to the 4th quarter, there are plays that he might be taking off, right? What stands out to Aaron Moorhead is the way Johnny Wilson throughout practice, every rep has been a strong one. So, it's clear, that he's ahead of Ainias Smith, their 5th round pick, and I think he's going to be a factor in this offense. Maybe not like the 3rd receiver, but unless they trade for someone, my guess is they're going to mix and match. There are going to be times when it's Britton Covey, perhaps. There will be times when it's going to be Paris Campbell if he's healthy. But then they could be looking for size, and Johnny Wilson provides that. And I spoke yesterday to Jason Michael, the tight ends coach. I asked if they've evaluated him at all as a tight end. He said no, but there were times, when they said, all right, this blocking can be used almost like an extra tight end on the field.
It's interesting. That's where they used to, that fade to Harold Carmichael, that play at the goal line was a Jaworski to Carmichael staple. That play at the goal, just utilizing his size.
Yeah, I've been here a lot when Harold Carmichael's around. I didn't get to watch Harold Carmichael play,
Obviously, yeah.
but like you see that guy and you're like, how's that a wide receiver, right? And then when you see Johnny Wilson, you probably have the same reaction. Like when fans are going to see him on the field, they're going to be like, this guy plays the same position as Britton Covey, right? This guy plays the same position as Devontae Smith. He's a physical specimen. And yeah, if I were Johnny Wilson, I would be in Harold Carmichael's ear every day.
Zach tempering our Johnny Wilson excitement. Come on, Zach. He's going to be a stud.
BG already
He's
bought the jersey.
Megatron 2.0.
Yeah, I've covered practices in the past with like MoMA. You remember MoMA, the 6'8" receiver tight end hybrid that they had. There's always that big wideout who gets fans excited during camp. But I do think it's legit what we're seeing from Johnny Wilson so far.
Hey, I just harp on this because it's always about this communication stuff. So I think I read on Twitter they asked Kellen Moore about why Hurts is so good. And he had just said communication's been great, and that's the key. Is that a running theme with Kellen and Jalen right now?
Yeah, I think it's a buzzword that they're trying to use, right? And
It seems like it.
It's applicable right now. Now it's training camp. I'm not trying to be skeptical, but last year you're hearing the same thing about Brian Johnson and Nick Sirianni and Alex Tanney. But no, this is a point of emphasis. And the thing that stands out about Kellen Moore too is like he played this. He was a backup quarterback in the league for a number of years. He was a quarterbacks coach. He was an OC. His background is all quarterbacks. And the same thing you can say about Brian Johnson too. But he really emphasizes that communication, that relationship with Jalen Hurts. And I think that's imperative to Jalen, especially after last season. Like Jalen saying the same thing about communication, about being on the same page, about the command of the offense. It is a talking point of theirs, but at least as of now, I think it's legitimately coming to fruition.
Is Tyler Steen back today or yesterday? And
so Steen was back. I'm sorry. Go on, BJ.
No. And do you think there's pressure? Do you think they prefer Steen to win the job being a draft pick than Mekhi Becton here on a 1-year deal?
That's an interesting way of looking at it. So first off, Steen was back at practice yesterday, but didn't participate in team drills. Okay. As far as the second part, I think that Becton's an interesting scenario for them because A, he's young, right? B, he's a former first-round pick, someone that they've liked. I think Steen, even though he was their draft pick, third-round pick, high third round, but if he's a swing tackle for you because Mekhi Becton outplays him, then I don't think they would be disappointed in that scenario, right? They drafted Steen hoping that he can play guard, but his background was tackle, right? And so if early in his career he's a swing tackle, that was kind of Isaac Seumalo. This stage of his career, Isaac wasn't starting either, and Isaac was a third-round pick. Now that said, Becton, it would be a disappointment to the Eagles, for instance, if it's like Matt Hennessy out there, if it's Brett Toth out there, right?
Right.
I think if it's Mekhi Becton, if it's someone who, 6'8", 6'7", 6'8", 360 pounds, that's rare. A guy who's played high-level football in the NFL before, who was a top 15 pick like that, there's, I think they look at Becton. The upside there is really intriguing. I see what you're saying about a 1-year deal. If he wins a starting job, it would not surprise me if they try to work out an extension quickly.
Zach, real quick, I want to ask about Saquon Barkley. Obviously, we're all excited about the signing, but I saw your tweet earlier about the fearless, asking teammates about are they fearless from reading that book. Talk to us a little bit about the fearless moniker that he's starting over there.
Yeah, so it's a good question. The team put out a clip of Jalen Hurts mic'd up from practice last week. And you hear Saquon asking Jalen, are you fearless? Like during practice. And they had this conversation. Fans can check that out, that the Eagles put out. But Saquon explained why he did it. He said he
Caught by the Nola
Oh,
care.
Zach!
Dude,
Is
I
that
love the air horn. When you're down there and you hear that air horn,
changing.
they switch in
Yeah.
rotations, drills. Yeah.
No, that's the air horn is. Yeah.
Yeah. I would like to do that.
Would you like to be in charge of the air horn?
Yeah. You could talk to Nick.
Yeah.
Work that out for me.
You'd be great.
Try to get him back because I had one more question for him. So if you can, Skeeves, to try to get him back because I do want to ask him something else. No, but I love this station to station.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got to tell you, I like we have we had practice camps like underway for the kids.
Mm-hmm.
They have 3 cameras shooting practice.
What?
Yeah, I was impressed by their outfit.
That's really good.
Clearview football. Yeah, they had 3 Coach PJ and Matt and all. They have a big staff and they have 3 cameras.
It's the easiest way to coach, though.
Look at practice.
With operators or stationary?
Stationary.
Okay.
But I mean, they have 3 cameras.
Well, you should start operating one of them.
Practice. Well, you saw all my
your
videos.
Feed, your sideline angles.
No, I don't get.
Hey, coach, you might want to add this to your. You got a 4 camera.
Well, I do look at stuff.
Then he's gonna start bringing Baldy. They're gonna start doing like film breakdowns.
I
with
am.
kids.
Baldy's breakdown. We're gonna do the kids.
With the
Baldy,
kids. I love that.
Baldy's breakdown with the kids is the best.
It's gonna be a treat, cuz.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
People missing the stapler from yesterday.
Yeah, remember that was the best. The Staples. We were at the Staples Center yesterday. It was crazy. All right. Well, let me know when you get them because I do have to ask him about Jordan Davis. That to me was the lead. Jordan
couple
Davis.
big plays yesterday.
Yes, like having Jordan Davis able to be that. Yes. So yesterday, in case you missed it, they were running this drill where the offense is backed up inside the 2-yard line, and Jordan Davis just burst through and got Saquon for the safety, and everybody went nuts. Like that's a big deal.
Yeah.
Like if they can get Jordan Davis and he can give you multiple, like he's got to give you plenty of snaps.
If him and Carter can play, it makes it so much easier for the edge guy.
Oh,
To keep
my
playing
God.
consistent for the whole season because that was their problem. They started off strong, but they couldn't finish. And Jordan Davis also staying healthy. He's also big.
Yeah.
It's so hot down there that he has a temperature warning on his phone, and his phone is unusable right now.
Oh,
Since
wow.
Jalen Hurts is
That's
on
the
fire.
reason. That's the reason why he disconnected.
It's so
Jalen's on fire.
There you go.
Heating it up down there.
Pushing it up.
Listen, I need this.
Yeah,
all right?
we all
I
do, cuz.
need Jalen.
What size Moss wear?
What shoe?
No, jersey.
I don't know. Yeah,
I got a Kelly Green large Jalen in my closet. I can't use. Someone gave me. It's too small for me. But,
Oh yeah,
pass it
it's
along.
not a bad idea.
That's how
The
you
large
started.
is too small.
No, in fact, he's
Well,
got a
extra large,
jersey. What am I
Steve.
saying? Uncle Joey got him a jersey.
Oh man,
What does
He's
he
got
have?
a Hurts jersey.
He's got the Hurts.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's just trying to get under your skin. I think that's really what it is. Because I would do, honestly, listen, I would do the same thing with my dad. I would always play rap music. My dad hated rap music growing up, so.
I don't know. Like, I guess. I mean, I guess it's part of rite of passage where you're 11,
Rebellion.
But I was never, I don't know. I was never really like that. Like, I was more, I get it, but I looked at, I'm just talking about sports. Like, I loved those, like, that whole thing.
They were superheroes growing up.
Yeah,
They were
man.
Superman. They were Batman. too.
And our teams, it was like you went from, one season to the other. Like that's where the 4-4 came from.
Well, you said something on the radio a long time ago that really stuck to me. It's like, imagine being like a Chargers fan, and the Eagles won the Super Bowl, and your
Right.
friends are just enjoying this parade,
Well,
and you're
look at
just
the
sitting there
parade we
like,
had
"Go
here.
Chargers."
I mean, listen. You could go through chapter and verse the moments that we had during that parade, during that run, right? The day of the Super Bowl. The whole city was together the day. I flew back from Minnesota, did a show right on Chestnut Street at the Grand Cafe L'Aquila, and there was a crowd spilled out a block from Chestnut. It was like a big block party.
Yeah,
Like, you're going to miss out on that?
yeah,
It's one of
Like,
the
I
best
don't get
days.
that.
It's one of the best days of my life.
yeah.
It is.
So much fun. All those runs are so much fun. With the Phillies going
They
to
all-
run.
Listen, like how many times you're at Citizens Bank Park and you go, oh my God, it's the greatest place in the world because everybody's into it.
Slowly
You're
does
just
run.
going to have to make the Eagles his team and just tell him you're going to visit Uncle VG right off South Street. We go to Tattooed Eddie's. You sign the waiver, and we just tat him up with some Eagles.
Come on, get him a sleeve.
Yeah, just get
An
him a
Eagle
bird.
sleeve?
Get him a,
Yeah.
Just get like
yeah,
jail
a bird.
birds.
Yeah, that would go well with my wife. That'd go over well with my wife.
Oh, what do we
So
got?
you just
Frazier?
tattooed our Meanwhile, he would probably want to do it. Oh,
Frazier's
my
got
God.
some for us. What do you got?
What do you got? Oh, we got Zach.
Oh, there he is.
So wait, Zach, your phone overheated? You got the warning on your phone?
Yeah, literally. Literally, my phone overheated, dropped in the middle of the call, and it said I can't use it until it cools down. So I tried coming into a tent here where maybe it'll be a little better, but trying to give the audience a taste of the field, and literally the phone overheated.
We appreciate
Oh
it,
my
Zach.
God, that's unbelievable. Hey, before it overheats again, I did want to ask you about Jordan Davis yesterday because that was a big deal for me, man. The fact he bursts in, gets the safety. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, Jordan Davis was awesome yesterday. So they had a backed up drill, right, where kind of, 1st and 10 from your own 1 yard line. And Jordan Davis pushes the interior, gets a would-be safety. Later in practice, chased down Jalen Hurts, similar to kind of the play against Josh Allen last year against Buffalo. Jordan Davis I think he's looked good throughout camp. I thought yesterday was his best day. And if he plays like he did yesterday, he's such a presence in the middle for the Eagles. So that jumps out. I think the Eagles are happy about their top 3 defensive tackles overall. We all know about Jalen Carter. Milton Williams, a good anecdote from Vic Fangio yesterday. Vic Fangio said when he was in Miami, he tried to get the Dolphins to trade for Milton Williams.
Wow.
Howie Roseman wouldn't give him up. But that shows you 2 things. First off, it shows you the way Vic Fangio thinks about him, that thinks this is a good player. And it shows kind of Milton Williams' value to the organization, that in a situation where they have Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, Fletcher Cox, they're not trading Milton.
That's a big deal. Yeah. Listen, because it's all going to start up front with them. They have those tackles have to be the difference maker on that front because you can't expect the ends to generate pressure without the tackles.
You're absolutely right. And I haven't seen enough from this edge group yet. Now, that said, training camp only shows you so much. But going into the season, my big question, of course, is Bryce Huff. Like, what's Bryce Huff giving you from a pressure perspective?
Yeah. He scares me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so far it seems like edges and linebackers are a little bit of a concern.
Yeah. Yeah. Great stuff, Zach. 2:00. What do you got cooking today with Bo?
Yeah, 2:00. Bo and I are fresh off the practice field. We're going to be looking at how Jalen looked. We'll give you a standout player from the first team, a standout player from the second team, standout player from the third team. We'll give you our play of the day and some other nuggets that we learned from talking to the guys here.
Love it. I'll be tuned in. Everybody should be watching. 2:00. Zachariah and Bo. Keep
Appreciate
cool,
it.
brother. Good stuff out
Absolutely.
there.
Thanks, guys. Yep.
There he is, Zach Berman.
One little pathetic fan hanging off the tent behind him. Looked like it was 10 inches wide.
I mean, dude.
Come on. Get some misters down there, birds.
I know. Dude, that's nasty.
Yeah.
That is Now, I guess today is the last day of the scorching heat, and then the rains come, and we have to build an ark.
Yeah.
Because
it's ark.
It's going to be, they're talking like 7 inches of rain over the next few days.
Are you kidding?
No.
Oh, man.
I'm just glad that I'm here, not in my area.
Super stressful for me. I got a roof that's leaking. I hope the sump pump works.
Dude, I just replaced my roof.
Dude,
not
it's the
fun.
worst.
You better grab the buckets.
I got a sump pump, man. It's supposed to handle stuff.
Yeah. No, dude,
buckets.
it's crazy, man.
Stay
It's
dry out there, guys.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty nasty.
Join us on Cuz's Ark.
Yeah. It's the Cuz Cruise down South Street. All right, let's talk about Parks Casino. We talk about the BetParks app, right, with the brain and give you picks, all that stuff. But let's talk about the casino itself, located in Ben Salem, Street Road. Parks Casino, perfect for after-work get-togethers, date night, girls' night out, guys' night out, simple, tantalizing drinks. Soak up those warmer weather, good vibes at Parks Casino. This is how you win, Parks Casino. How about this? The epic $5 happy hour, Wednesday through Sunday. You got to get up there for this. pretty cool. At the Liberty Bell Gastropub, $5 drafts of Ford Stout, Victory Seasonal, or Parks Pills. How about $5 glasses of Albertoni Cabernet? Enjoy the drink of summer. $5 Twisted Tea, Frozen Whiskey Arnold Palmer's. Plus, feast on flavor pack $5 small plates of braised short rib sliders, hot honey chicken sliders, rotisserie chicken flatbreads. The all-new Parks Casino epic $5 happy hour happening right now. That's it. Parks Casino, 3,200 state-of-the-art slots, 115 live table games, beautiful poker room, collection of incredible award-winning restaurants. Check out Joe Conklin, my buddy, every week for Joe Conklin's Comedy Night on Thursdays. The best cover bands every weekend at 360 Lounge. Headliners every weekend at the 1,500-seat Excite Center at Parks Casino. How about Tiffany Haddish, September 27th? JB Smoove is coming in September as well. Tickets for all shows, parkscasino.com. You got to be 1-800. You got to be 21 or older. If you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. Parks Casino. This is how you win. JP.
Absolutely, guys. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is currently 10:26 in the morning here on the Anthony Gargano Show. Thank you so much for tuning on in. We truly appreciate it, guys. If you guys are enjoying today's content, do us a solid. Hit that like button and make sure you guys are subscribed, not only for this show, but all the great beat shows that we have here on PHLY Sports. You can also listen to us on the drive to work, to practice, whatever it may be. Find us. Just ask Siri. Play the Anthony Gargano Show. And you can find us. Make sure you guys subscribe there. Also leave a rating. We would really appreciate if you guys leave a rating there. But here's what's on the docket here at PHLY Sports. Following us at 11 a.m., PHLY Phillies will be talking about that Game 1 loss in L.A. Following at 1 p.m., we have PHLY Flyers. At 2 p.m., you just heard from Zach. He'll be joined by Bo. We're live from training camp. We'll be talking about it. And at 3 p.m., PHLY Sixers will be going live as well. Guys, all these shows are great, but what you need to do is become a diehard because you're going to get exclusive content from all of our beat writers. You're also going to get access into those Discord chats. We have some great communities here with some great discourse going on all those chats there. You get access to that. And of course, the best of all, you get the discounted merchandise as well. We have some great swag here. You always see me rocking it as well. So that's what we got going on here. One more thing, guys. One more thing. Guys, I'm so excited for this. I found out about this at the airport on Saturday. We have a watch party, another watch party. These things are always so much fun. This time on August 29th, guys, we're playing the Braves, Phillies, Braves at Top Tomato here on South 11th Street. Guys, it's going to be a lot of fun. The PHY Phillies team will be running the show there. I will be there as well. We're going to be having a lot of fun. If you want some more details, you want to be a part of it, head on over to allphly.com/events. That is what we got going on PHLY Sports.
All right, JP. Also, listen, when we're talking about the show, especially with football season coming up, we want you guys to chime in. We want to get the calls going. All right? VG and I were talking about this the other day. We want to get the call. We want to hear from you because we got to do a lot of the chat stuff, but it's different. The one thing I miss is talking to everybody. So if you tell us you're interested and send a note, Andrew Skeeves is monitoring, and he'll send you a link.
Yeah, just message any one of us,
and then
honestly.
you can just pop on. And you don't have to do video if you don't want to. The TMZ style does the video, but you could do just the audio.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to join, go on to Twitter, PHLY Gargano Show. The handle is PHLY Gargano Show. Send a DM to that, and we will try to get you on.
What if they don't have Twitter?
If you don't have Twitter, you can join, be a diehard, and you can contact us on Discord.
Well, give them your email. And they can send it
Or
right
you
to
can email me. It's andrew@allphly.com.
That's all. That's easy.
I'll put all these in the comment section so everyone can have
All right,
access
so
to
then this way we can start doing this because, especially on Mondays
Yeah, we want some reaction.
and Fridays, like we're entering a big time, right? We're gonna have the Eagles, excitement. We're gonna have a Red October, right? Hopefully, we're gonna have the Sixers quest finally for the title, PG. So we got Flyers are going to be fun, right? We're Mid-Scop Mania, so we want to share this thing. And look, there are days like today where I need advice as a dad when my son is going astray.
Help the cuz out, guys.
So we want you to do that.
Randy Rhubarb says R.I.P. to Andrew's inbox.
Yeah, I know. I said that. I'm like, oh no.
Let's go. We want to hear from you guys.
It's all right.
It's family.
We can
Andrew's
make
family.
another email.
Come on, it's nothing, dude. You're good. You're good, Skeeves.
No, please email me. I want you guys to get on the show.
Yeah, we want to start incorporating this thing because that's the last piece
Oh, yeah, man.
of the puzzle. I have to have fun with it.
Let's get
you
some
know.
of our people on here.
You know.
Of course.
I'm sick of hearing you two voices.
By the way, I hear you. Believe me, you know how many times I would do I'd be doing a show, and in my mind's eye, like I'd be talking in my brain, I go, "Shut up, shut up."
Right.
Like I hate
think that's
to this
normal.
guy. I go, God, just shut up. Telling yourself to be quiet. By the way, this portion of the program brought to you by TrueMark Financial Credit Union. Check out the TrueMark Financial difference at truemark.com/PHLY. All right, let's get some nugs.
Dude, these late night games crushing me.
So you went to the movies last night.
I went to the movies before the game. Yeah, you got to squeeze it in the time with your
Sounds
partner.
like a good movie.
Well, TV Todd tipped us off to it, Kneecap, about this North of Ireland rap band, and basically their story of how they, came about and got famous. They add a little spice to it with a father character, which I don't think is an actual true part of it. But yeah, it was a great, cool indie vibe film. Felt like Train Spotting.
Yeah,
the music was great. The cuts were good. It's one of the better movies I've seen in a long time. TV Todd, he was on that.
Yeah, you
Michael
were excited.
Fassbender? He's in it, Michael Fassbender?
Yeah, his role is, I think, embellished in it to try and drive the narrative. But the story of the kids and trying to keep that language alive in a rebellious part of like Belfast and stuff.
By the way, there's nothing more relaxing than watching a movie on the plane. That's all I was doing on the plane rides. I was watching movies with my fiance or my wife. There's nothing better than that.
Yeah,
So
What'd you
relaxing.
see?
Yeah.
So I actually watched that. Did you see that the guy who found not only Backstreet Boys but also NSYNC? He had this
I
whole,
haven't gotten there
No.
yet. That guy's weirds me out a little bit.
Oh, he
Yeah,
was
he's a creepo.
messed up.
Is it
yeah.
Lou something?
Yeah, he was scamming not only those two bands, but so many other boy bands and like investors. It was pretty sick. I saw The Greatest Beer Run with Zac Efron on Apple TV. That was ridiculous. That's based off a true story. So I love it though. Obviously, plane rides are not fun. So you're crammed in this tight space. So kind of keep my mind occupied.
I like flying. I got no problem.
It's
flying.
weird. I am not a Zac Efron. I'm usually out. If I see a
he's
movie with Zac
everywhere now.
Efron in it,
I'm out, too.
probably
Yeah, I
out. I
agree.
won't even watch it.
I'm out. Yeah, I'm out on that.
Ricky Stenicki, you didn't watch that
That
movie?
was bad.
What
too.
is that? Is that a movie?
Well, I only
Ricky
watched it because
Stenicki?
there was AC references in there.
John Cena. I don't
was
know why
terrible.
he's on this like comedy kick, but
He's
he
not
plays
good
like a
either.
doofus in like every movie that he's in.
Yeah.
And he's like this big doofus from Atlantic City, and he like plays this like I'm their friend, but I'm not really their friend. The story's about these three guys who
pretty
make an
dumb.
imaginary friend to kind of get out of like wife stuff. And they've been using this excuse that my friend Ricky,
I don't even know what he's
we
talking
gotta
about
go
at this
see my
point.
friend
We're just
Ricky.
going on. Get to it. Give us an elevator pitch, man.
The
Jeez.
plot
Tell
of
me what it is.
The plot of the
seconds
movie
or
is just a
less.
little dumb, so that's why he's explaining
Yeah, I'm
it.
out. Yeah, I'm out. I'm way
Man.
out.
That's
why-
I couldn't be more out. John
It was
Cena,
dumb. It was dumb.
Comedy, it
Zac
just sounds
Efron.
fun.
That-
Zac Efron, I'm out. Way out. Way out.
Matt Decker
everywhere.
saying it was good, Ricky Stenicki.
I was not a fan of Ricky Stenicki.
All right, give us some nugs, please.
Yeah,
All right,
hey,
save
Mr.
the segment.
Nugs VG.
We have
So
argued.
Skeeves, there's a reason why Skeeves shouldn't talk, right?
Hey, we've argued in here over Jalen Hurts. Is he a top 10 quarterback? Is he top 12?
Don't get Massimo in that.
But how about and let me know. NFL players voted. Where do you think they voted Jalen Hurts?
I'll say
he's in the top 30.
I'll say they.
I already saw this.
I'll say they voted number 8.
This is a top 100 list you're talking about,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, I saw this.
Oh wait. Of all players?
Yes.
Oh, not just quarterbacks.
Yeah, yes.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. So I'll say 29.
15.
Yeah. and
Wow.
He was 3 last year, too.
15.
He was 3 last year?
I'm pretty
In
sure
the
2023.
entire NFL?
Yes.
Yeah.
There he is. Let me ask you, where do you think Moss's favorite player, Patrick Mahomes, is in the top 100?
Dude, he has got to be
I
one,
don't know,
right?
third?
4th.
Wait, who's top 3?
So I want you to try and guess the 3 ahead of him, Ant.
I'll say Lamar Jackson.
Number 2.
Wow. Yeah, I listen, I like Lamar a lot. Putting Lamar over Mahomes is criminal.
Violation.
It's criminal.
That's violation, dude.
There's 2 more.
It's criminal. The one guy, all he does is win.
Literally.
He is the greatest quarterback, and he's better than freaking Brady. I don't care what anybody says. That dude has every skill imaginable, and he wins. If he didn't have 2 backup third-string tackles, he would have been to another Super Bowl.
He had no wide receivers last year, too.
Last 2 years.
Yeah,
They
last 2
traded
years.
Tyreek Hill 2 years. The last 2 seasons, they go, oh, they're dead, no Tyreek Hill. And all the freaking guy does is win.
No wonder Massimo loves him.
Right.
Talking
Michael
like
Parsons
that.
in there.
No.
Okay.
There's 2 other players ahead of him. One's a running back.
Okay. Saquon?
No, McCaffrey.
McCaffrey's number 3.
Okay.
The player that other players ranked number 1 in all of football, Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Number 1, though?
Yep.
Yeah. But imagine this, right? And this is why players are not great. At these lists and all, it's not
popularity
accurate,
contest,
right?
right?
Well, yeah, because here's the thing. If I'm a defensive back, I go, hey, Tyreek, nobody's better than Tyreek Hill, right? You know what I'm saying? But when you look at it in its totality, Mahomes wins without him. And what was the story last year with the Chiefs? They dropped balls. He was hitting guys in their hands. And he wins, and Lamar doesn't.
That's
I
crazy,
like Lamar.
dude.
I thought he broke through last year, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because before that, he never won. He always came up small. I thought he broke through last year. They didn't lose because of him. His game was okay. But there's no question Mahomes is the better player.
Mahomes has to be
He should
number one, in my
It's not
opinion.
even close.
Should be an easy slam dunk number
Yeah,
1.
that's stupid.
Face
All
an
right.
error.
So we talked earlier, the White Sox have lost 21 straight, tying an Orioles record from 1988. The White Sox Twitter account was pretty funny with
Oh, God.
the announcing of it last night. And that's the tweet about the White Sox losing, tying the record for the Orioles.
Right.
And then the White Sox official Twitter account tweets, our losing streak can now legally drink. I have no idea why they
This
tweeted
is our
it.
sister station.
That's CHGO. That's our
The
sister.
CHGO White Sox.
that's all that's
Yeah, that's
there
our
you go,
sister
there you go,
station,
there you
yeah.
go.
That's pretty good.
That's clever, man.
I like that.
Good on them.
I like
Shouts
that a
to
lot. Good Yoda. CHGO. Our
accidental
sister.
yo.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Metal count
Look,
time.
real quick.
Oh yeah,
Real quick. In a losing streak like that,
yeah.
don't you root for it to continue?
No.
Don't you? I remember when the Sixers were horrid, and I was like, let's break the record. Like, if you're going to be bad, you might as well be epically bad.
Well, that was like a known proclamated tank.
Because we needed those
Yeah,
picks.
but if you're the White Sox, that's what you're doing.
Or how about that Lions season?
Oh, the 0-16.
The
Yeah.
0-16.
Yeah.
Like you celebrated almost like, hey, let's go 0-16. Let's do
Yeah,
it.
that's
Yeah,
right.
it's
It's
tough to
gallows.
celebrate.
Yeah, but
Celebrate
I mean,
that.
I don't want to go. I mean, I'll go 1-15, but I don't want to root for 0-16 if the Eagles ever happen to get to that point.
No, yeah.
1-15 will get you the number 1 overall pick.
Oh, it's
still.
17? God forbid.
Oh, yeah, now
Like,
it's
you know,
17.
here's the thing you guys don't understand, and my son, that once upon a time, the Eagles sucked.
Yeah, they were.
All right? Like, in
Once upon a time, the
in
Eagles
1998,
Back in my day.
they took the Eagles off the board. They were horrible. Do you remember how bad in 98 they were?
I don't. No, it doesn't really strike
But
out.
last year, Ray Rhodes predates that brought Andy Reid.
Yeah.
They were terrible.
Was Hoying the quarterback?
Bobby Hoying, yes, and the Detmers. Horrible. Ty Detmer.
Ty and Coy.
Yeah. Talk about
Junk.
Yeah, bad arms,
Noodle arms.
rag arm, bad horrible.
And they were weird. Well, Coy was weird.
Coy was weird.
Like living out of a van or something.
Yeah, Coy was very. And he would bring to camp. He would bring a toothbrush.
Yes.
And one pair of underwear.
Yes.
Was he the backup in 04 or was that
For
Jeff
training
Bliss?
camp.
That's it? Just one pair?
Yes. That's it.
Where it the whole time?
Yes.
Man, he had some holes.
No, he was a skeeve. He was a true skeeve.
Yeah.
He's a granola.
A granola. Yeah.
Yeah. Crunchy granola.
Doesn't use deodorant.
Yes.
Oh man.
All right, Olympics. Medal count.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
USA dominating total overall medals, 79. China next close at 53. And as of this morning, we were tied with golds.
Look at the silvers.
Yeah.
30.
France holding steady. They got a pretty solid hold
I'm
on
shocked,
number 3.
actually, that how they.
Yeah, they came out.
Yeah.
Field advantage all throughout.
They had some good swimmers. I forget the Marchand dude. He had like four medals this year. It was a big U.S. volleyball victory. Beat Brazil 3-1. Brazil's a powerhouse. It's basically like, I feel like it's USA, Brazil, and Italy.
I heard
the big powerhouse.
Since I was gone, Andrew's become a women's volleyball expert now. He's
Andrew's a fan of beach volleyball.
beach volleyball.
Yeah.
I like
He
it.
can't keep track. The indoor volleyball with like 5 or 6 players on the side is too much for him. Too much action. He just needs 2. 2 on a side.
enough.
I mean,
Slug it to the sand.
VG was getting uncomfortable this morning
He's-
on the beach volleyball talk.
Yep.
I mean,
They call
professional
Andrew.
athletes.
They call Andrew the Legler of women's beach volleyball.
Yeah. So there's a big game today. Italy plays France. Winner will play USA. I don't know when that
Forza
final
Azzurri.
game for the gold, or no, for in the semifinals. There's 3 teams left, and we'll find out who the 4th one is with Italy, France later today.
In basketball.
No,
Oh.
in volleyball.
Oh, you're in
Yeah,
volleyball.
yeah. I'm in volleyball mode.
Okay.
What's your
So
favorite?
what is it? So USA?
USA, I think they play. I don't know. Poland's around. I think USA, Italy, and France are the last 2.
All
I
right.
don't know.
BG, what's your favorite Olympic sport to watch?
Kayak slalom.
Wow, that is such a VG answer.
I love this man-made rapids with slaloms built into it.
So
They take an arena.
I didn't even
I
realize
thought
all
they-
these events.
thought
I
did it on,
know.
like in the woods down a creek or something. No,
So,
they
dude,
just
did you
built
know
some
this?
rapids.
I didn't know. I was watching it last night, but so in French Polynesia, they do the surfing, which is on the other side of the world.
That's where they're handling the surfing.
Yes, which is like
That's a bummer because you don't get to live in the Olympic Village with the other
I
athletes.
know
and stuff.
you're in French Polynesia, which is probably
What
beautiful.
is that?
Yeah.
Like
They're living on
beaches?
Yeah.
They're living on a giant cruise ship, though.
Wow.
Oh, are they
Yeah,
really?
it actually looks really sweet.
It looked cool,
Yeah.
man. The surfing looked awesome.
Oh, Ed Rice correct. Speed walking is another good one.
Yeah, I saw
they,
videos of
they
that.
can't ever lift, like one foot has to be on the ground at all time, and they wiggle their arms and body real quick so they can walk super fast.
Wait.
They speed walk around.
It's like the
a
Chris
track.
Paul State Farm.
Wait, that's
commercial.
real?
Yeah.
That's a
You've
sport?
never seen speed walking?
Yeah, it's a real thing.
I
man.
gotta tell you, I don't understand.
There's got to be a
Like,
tweet, a Twitter. out
Dude,
there
I've
speed
seen
walking.
so many videos of it.
Have you really?
Oh yeah, speed walking. There's like a Spanish girl who's
How-
really good. She's
why,
the best.
why do you keep adding
Man,
events?
they boogie these speed walkers.
Why do they keep adding events?
I think it's been around for a while.
No,
I
way.
saw that breakdance is now an event.
Yeah,
No way.
Olympics.
Yeah.
yeah, breakdancing.
I love
is-
Who won?
breakdancing
Who
too.
won? Do we know?
Oh, we'll find that out
The
too.
competition.
America better win
Oh,
breakdance.
cuz.
I'm going to try and get a ski the thing.
Oh my God! What?
Yeah,
is
dude.
so good.
Speed walking is top notch entertainment.
I mean, it's like, come on, man. That's where you cheat in the like. That should not be worth a gold. That's like worth like a quarter of a gold. If you get speed walking gold, that doesn't belong in the same gold as the 100-meter, right? Like, think about that.
100-meter versus the speed
Like,
walk. They got,
well, like that's why you can't have one gold equal the 100-meter, one gold equal basketball, one goal equals speed walking, and one goal equal breakdancing.
Dude, it's so
Like
funny.
that shouldn't count.
Eddie said he speed walks 3 times a day to the toilet. And Matt Decker's asking, when does speed
There we
walking
go,
become
there we go.
running? It's when 2 feet are off the ground. There's got to be a frontal view when they come shimmying through.
So you're saying I can be an Olympic athlete? I'm in.
The speed
crazy.
walkings.
I'll do it.
Yeah, 1 foot must be on the ground. There they are. There's the shimmy.
Dude, that shit was so
But they're
fun.
cruising, dude. They're like 5 miles per hour or something. I mean, they're fast.
How could
they're
you tell?
speed walking. I mean, that's in slow motion.
The 40-yard dash speed walk.
It's ridiculous.
That is ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
It is, but it's also kind of funny.
Yeah, it is, but it's stupid. Like, it's the Olympics. Like,
Well-
this is for bogus sports. Like, stop.
Well, I'm sure VG's going to have it in his nugs, but we're going to get a new sport in 2028, which I'm sure you're not going to like.
What? What's the new sport?
Oh, you want to just jump to that one? Yeah. This is NFL's hyping it up.
Flag football?
Yeah, your man Jalen Hurts is hyping it up.
Yeah.
Did a little video for it.
Yeah, cuz we're here. Flag football, baby. It's all commercial.
Jalen throwing the football.
It's our turn.
Flag
People are
football,
wondering
baby.
if the pros are going to play in it. I mean, they
Gotta
can't.
get like
You can't have pros playing flag football.
No.
I'm sorry.
Can't. I
Listen,
agree.
I think it's great for kids, right? I do. I think it's a good thing. But they're pushing this thing because they want to make, the contact. They're trying to get rid of contact.
Well, let me ask you, cuz.
And I have to tell you, like, it's not football. Like, it's not. It's just there's nowhere near. It's just not football. So
Would you want to see organized football in the Olympics?
you can't.
It's going to be
You
tough. if
can't
have
play
the NFL
football. You
players.
can't play football. First of all, you can't have that. It goes on too long. Like you can't play
Group stages and then a knockout round.
No,
It would be
It's one
weird.
thing with soccer. You could play soccer every 3 days.
Yeah.
You can't play football in that short of time.
Yeah. You
Nah,
got to give at least 6
football
days.
is not an Olympic sport. And by the way, no other country even knows how to play.
Seems like some countries are starting to catch on though. What was that tournament we were all watching?
Oh, the U23 or whatever it was,
under,
football.
yeah. International
International,
Yeah,
American
but they don't.
football.
I mean, it's not real. I mean,
Canada
you
was
can't-
killing everybody.
Like you can't, right? You can't play American football. Like we would dominate.
JJ Arcega-Whiteside would be,
And like,
be a beast in flag football.
well,
in
you
the
also
Olympic
have to
days.
remember it's in 4 years. It'd be 2028.
In LA.
So like the guys who are, would be your prime guys right now might not be there in 4 years.
Yeah, I listen. I hear you, and I think flag football is good for kids, but like, do you really like watching it?
No.
Like I'll tell you, I think,
I'd rather watch speed walking.
like I'll be honest with you, I don't like both the kids play, flag, and I think it's fine. Like if they enjoy it, it's fun. A lot of kids like it, but it's like it's 30 minutes. Like we go to this Total Turf in Pittman,
Yeah, I know.
and there's 1,000 games at the same time.
really.
It's just like it's insane. Like every piece of real estate is like these kids playing these.
Is
Flag
it because
football.
is it because parents are scared to put their kids in organized
I
football?
don't know. Maybe. I mean, listen. It's a lot easier to play. It's a lot. There's
Cheaper,
no
too.
time. Like there's no time commitment. Like it's the games are whatever 30, 40 minutes, and do what they have practice once a week. Like football is a commitment.
Yeah, that's
Like
true.
we're in the thick of it. Just for youth football, right? So Moss is there, Monday through Thursday, and then soon it'll be Fridays, Monday through Friday, and then the game, and like the coaches are working. It's a job.
Yeah.
you take
full-time.
video of the flag football?
No, I don't even watch it because they play on Sundays, and I got an
Even
argument
during
with
the
my
season?
wife. I go, listen, if they were to play flag football, that's fine, but I'm not coaching it, and I'm not.
Don't do that on a Sunday. It's
And
an
I'm-
insult to real football.
And I'm not right, and I'm not unless
Do
the
that on a
game.
Saturday.
Unless the game's in the morning, I'm not going.
Yeah, no.
Like there were games during the Eagles games. I go, dude,
That's
I'm
a
not doing that.
violation.
Yeah.
EG, you got to talk to them. That's a violation.
No, they were playing during the Eagles games.
Oh,
I'm like, no
absolutely
way.
not.
I used to hate playing it in gym. When the
See,
gym
like,
teacher
you wanna
would
tackle.
he would bring out the belts with the flags.
Oh, yeah.
Because you can't like you can't like move on somebody. You can't like try to break
Hard
their
to
ankles
juke
because
and
it's so
stuff.
easy to stand there. Oh, I got your flag. Like cool.
Well, after school, we
you
would go to
can't
the
juke.
field.
You can't do nothing.
Listen, I think there's a place for it. I do. I think it's good. I think it's good. It's good for girls. It's good for kids to introduction of football, or maybe just the skill piece of it. That's
Yeah.
great. Like there's some like kids that are unbelievable and patterns and the whole thing. So I think there's a place for it, but I don't think it's it shouldn't overtake real football.
And we should win in gold for the U.S. if that's the case.
Yeah.
There was a story that really warmed my heart in gymnastics yesterday. So Rebecca Andrade of Brazil.
Oh, she's awesome.
She came in second. She's been having a hard time. She can't beat Simone Biles, but she won on the floor routine yesterday, the gold. And Simone and the other gymnast, her name is passing me, but they bowed down to her on the podium to show her respect.
Oh, wow.
She's
That's
apparently had 3 torn ACLs in the last 4 years and has kept competing throughout all of this.
Man. That's awesome.
So, yeah, they were showing her mad respect on the podium.
Yeah,
That's
that
cool.
story.
I like that.
That's a good one.
Speaking of gymnastics, I was totally wrong about wanting silence on the beam. Because yesterday there was silence on the beam, and they were all falling off it. There was no other event going on. So there was no floor routine. So there was no music in the building. And the gymnasts were complaining. They were all falling off the beam. They were asking for sound effects and music to be put in through the stadium, through the arena. And they did not.
Why is that?
They just thought it, I don't know. I don't know if they get too in their head without the music. Like, because I thought, we talked yesterday where we thought it'd be distracting to hear that Can Junction song.
Yeah. But I guess they need
Jordan
that.
Childs was the other gymnast on the podium. Thanks, Linda. But yeah.
Yeah, Jordan Childs. Yeah. Her father, I loved him. He was like freaking out because she won the bronze, but they asked for an inquiry. And they bumped up their score. Originally, somebody else won the bronze.
Oh, yeah.
And then they bumped her up to third.
Nice. I like asking for an inquiry.
Yeah.
I like to
It's a
ask for an
challenge.
inquiry.
It's like throwing a challenge flag.
Yeah.
Or the.
But I guess everybody fell. And so a girl from Italy won the gold. And she was freaking out like there was no way. They're all the greatest gymnasts of all, right? Simone, the
Jordan
girl from
Childs.
Brazil,
Oh.
and what's the other American?
Jordan Childs?
No. In fact, I saw her with Devin Booker.
I know who you mean.
Anyway.
I don't know. You know the name Mondo Duplantis?
No. Mondo.
Well, Mondo's, he's the pole vault record holder.
Oh, dude.
He set the last 8 or 9 out of 10 heights.
Oh, he's awesome, this dude. His father was a pole vaulter. Yes. I love this dude.
Yeah. We got video.
He's outrageous.
We got video of him.
He scales like buildings.
He's over 20 feet.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
I saw a video of him.
They had the top. This is him going. He gets the audience clapping before he goes.
Yeah, where's he from? He's like from
He's from Louisiana,
Yeah, that's
but
right.
his mom's from Sweden, so he does this for Sweden. Dude,
look
he
at that.
just soars.
Dude,
20 feet.
that is
Yeah.
skill, man.
And there
Oh my
ain't no
God.
Johnson getting in the way of
No,
that. He
no
cleared
Johnson,
that. He's
yeah.
properly tucked.
Yeah, no Johnson.
Yeah, properly tucked.
Oh, dude.
Man, they were waiting. He had won the gold. And then it was just, it took like almost 45 minutes because he's like, I won the gold. I'm going to break my own record.
Yeah.
And it took almost 30.
He didn't have to do it.
No, he took 3
Yeah.
attempts. It was a 3rd attempt to do it.
Yeah.
The guy's like the Michael Jordan of
pole vaulting.
pole vaulting.
And he has this Louisiana accent. I heard him interviewed.
Yeah, he's born and raised in Louisiana.
Have you?
Louisiana.
So explain to me this, because you're up on it more than I am. So when did the male boxers? Is that going on?
I haven't seen any boxing
I
yet.
saw female boxers.
Yeah.
But I don't see the male boxers.
I was watching some.
Boxing was my favorite.
I was watching boxing in a Colombian restaurant during the honeymoon.
And what's up? And then we have, what's up with basketball start? Now we're going to get into the real
there's a
thing.
basketball game today, right?
Yeah.
It's USA versus, I don't know. They're 3:30 today. They play USA. And USA women's soccer versus Germany at noon. It's knockout games for both of them. I don't know who USA
That women's soccer game is going to be great.
We already smashed them 3-0.
Trinity Rodman has been just lights out.
Oh, she's Dennis Rodman's daughter, right? Yeah,
and-
she's unbelievable.
Yeah, she
Yeah, she's
is
really good.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
We have a local rower who Justin Best.
see that.
Going to try and reach out and maybe get him on the show at some point.
Yeah, I love this guy.
He went to Drexel.
That's what I say.
He proposed to his girlfriend, now fiance, on the Today Show yesterday. So he's having a heck of a week. But someone will put on his Instagram what Olympic rowers' hands look like. And they are pretty banged up and gnarly looking with calluses.
That's
and,
a nasty callus.
Yeah.
So you don't wear gloves? I guess it doesn't matter because it's still going to.
Yeah, I don't know.
Just the force of your
noticed
skin
that.
rubbing against it that much. Wow, look at that.
I mean, I guess you can't really wear gloves because then, like, obviously moisture, right? Won't that affect?
Maybe.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, dude,
that doesn't look comfortable.
Yeah, you want the grip.
Yeah.
So that's why, like, you have the
I mean, but
callus.
The guy wears receiver
The
gloves?
technology today, you got to believe that you would have that.
If they get wet, though, you
I don't
lose
know.
that.
I guess.
I think that's the same thing. Like NFL players say that, like in the rain, those
Yes.
sticky gloves, they get messed up once.
But
they're
I'm thinking there's got to be technology today that you can make gloves that work in the rain.
like wet proof.
Yeah.
If I would shake his hand not knowing, I'd be so weirded out. It's got to feel like a cactus or something on there. Just like sandpaper.
Oh, yeah. You're
like, what
right.
the hell's going on with this
Yeah.
guy?
Yeah, he's awesome. Man. I want to get him on the show.
Yeah, we're trying. He said he's into it. We're just trying to figure out the time.
He proposed on today's show. How great is that?
Heck of a week.
Could have proposed here.
Linda in the chat.
Yeah.
Linda in the chat says the men's boxing is Friday.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah,
good.
all right.
Linda rules.
She knows it
Yeah,
all.
Linda's on it.
Yeah.
She makes sure we're right too.
I love it.
Like
Yeah,
if we're
that's-
off, we're incorrect on something. I like
Let's
it.
go.
She's right there.
Listen, you need checks and
It's
balances.
so great having her in the chat.
We like that.
So we had a theme of like apocalyptic stuff with your locust story.
Yes.
And then we had dragonflies, and then we had a fish kill on a lagoon. Well, Calgary had a storm of unusual proportion this week. I think it was yesterday. They get rain, but they don't usually get hail this large. And you don't have it? They had hail the size of like golf balls, like serious, legit.
Are you
Golf
serious?
balls falling from the earth,
hell no.
from the sky.
Hell no.
And it was like
golf balls?
breaking windows of cars. It was bonkers.
Here we go. Oh my God.
People with their cars, windows smashed out. Calgary.
Oh my God. Look at that.
Crazy times in the world right now.
Dude, that's insane.
Yep. And I'll squeeze in one more.
All right.
A little cannabis story. This is a lesson for all the children out there. Not children, this is a lesson for adults. A man from Delanco was arrested on a plane. He ate gummies before he got on the plane, and apparently proposition flight attendants was vaping on the plane, locked himself in the bathroom, tried to open the doors while the plane was in flight.
Are you serious?
And he said he ate 10 gummies before his flight. Moderation, people. We like the gummies, but moderation.
What was
a nice
the thinking behind
5
that?
to 10, 1 milligram, 10 milligram, 10 gummies gets you arrested.
You're out of your mind.
Yeah, you're out of your mind on a plane. Now,
What do you
people are
think,
going to
gummy
try to
bears?
interact with you on a normal level. There's protocols that need to be followed. Cannot be doing that. I'm a
Gives
big
a bad look.
yeah, it puts a bad
for your,
look on
for your
anyone who
people.
appreciates them. Everyone
Yeah.
thinks they're dope heads out of control.
Right. Well, you do 10 of them.
Yeah.
Look what happens.
Like, come on, man.
To be fair, stuff happens in Delanco. That type of stuff happens in
Delanco?
Delanco, New Jersey.
I don't know much about Delanco, but
I don't know much about
Delran
local
and
guy.
Delanco?
It's Delran?
Well, I think it's pretty sure it's right next to Delran. So like
Okay.
right on like that was at 130.
Okay.
You go all the way down to Trenton that way.
yeah,
right.
you ended
All
up
right.
getting
A little
arrested
bit.
in Dallas, I think.
Yeah, no good.
Yeah, I
No.
want to get arrested
No
in Texas,
good.
guys.
All right, that's going to do it for us. So tonight, God, we got to get a win tonight.
Do we do.
Kershaw, come on, Fightins.
Tat him up a little bit.
You know, come on, man.
Yeah.
Moss needs to watch about 7 hours
Yeah,
of
yeah, you gotta get
Bryce
NFL
Harper
films on
highlights.
him.
It's a consumer behavior class in marketing world, the mere exposure effect. The more you're exposed to something, you inherently like it. So you have to expose them to more and more and more Bryce Harper.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
That must be the WNBA effect.
Yeah. It's the theory behind Top 40 Radio. Just jam these songs down their
Yeah.
throat and they'll love it
Yeah.
eventually.
Put some 08 Phil's videos on.
Right.
Just cram
All
it
right,
down
I'm going
his
to do it
mind.
all. Because, like, He likes the Eagles. All right. I keep breaking my heart.
Come on,
All right.
Moss.
That's going to do it for us, everybody. We love you. All right. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow.
We all silly like the mayor.